Okay, and it's an exciting day today. We're going to set our first container of the new house. Crane's here. He's getting ready to load the container. The container is down the street waiting on a trailer, and I reckon they're fixing to bring it down here. Okay, we're going to be setting the container right there beside those columns. Here's the crane. Here comes the container. Okay, here comes the container. This is called swing lift, and they have a big device that actually loads that container on this trailer by itself without a crane. Because we have to have a crane here because we have to lift it over a bunch of things and then down onto the slab. The container's 45 feet. Okay, so they're prepping. All these little things here are plumbing rough ends, and the concrete's left out. And then after the container's here, we have to open the floor of the container to get to these. Okay, so they're getting ready to rig up the cabling to the top of the container and then lift it and then swing it over here to the slab. And the truck and trailer's going back to get the second container, which is going to go on this side. Wednesday we'll be setting the second story containers on top of the first story containers. They're lifted from they're not just set right on them, they have peg legs to get higher ceilings within the home. Okay, so they're adding the rigging and some of the stuff on the crane. They have to be able to lift that container and then spin it around. This State Farm's just watching and working and waiting for the crane to lift the container off the truck. Oh, I was just telling Dan this will be the first time he ever built a house that went from foundation to dried in one day. Okay, they're swinging it around. Okay, they're going to rotate it to bring the doors to the street in.
Hold it.
Okay, they're trying to get it right down to they got to get it dead on, right dead on. There's no margin for error. It's 3 inches off. Okay, I think they got it. This little slab at the end is for a spiral staircase. It's the rear entrance to the house. It goes up spiral stairs to the second and the third story. Elevator on the other side. Say it's a 1/4 inch off on this end. They're going to wiggle it a little bit. Okay, our second container's arrived. This container is going on the left side, be the western side. It becomes the bedroom and the entrance into the home from the elevator shaft. As you can see, they've already cut part of the side out of the container. That's because everything gets connected, okay? And so also you can see they're cutting the roofs out. They're not done yet. Some of that work was done off-site. The rest of it's going to be done here. And the roofs are cut out because there's going to be legs above that container before the next container so that the ceilings are taller than the 9'6" provided by the container. Okay, this is the western container on the lower story, be on the left if you're facing the house. They're lifting it off. As you can see, it's had some cuts done on it. Some of the cuts have been done off-site. Most of them are going to be done on-site. That particular cut is for a bedroom, and it gets what's called we call it a slide out. Loosely speaking, we call it a slide out, but it makes the bedroom wider, and then it gets finished with architectural metal on the exterior. That hole faces the exterior of the home. So he's going to move it over there, and then he's got to spin it around. Okay, so he's spinning it around now. So the doors on this unit are going to face this way. Okay, she's coming down now. Everything's going just fine. Okay, bringing it down to its final position. It's got to come about 6 more feet this way. Okay, it's coming down. They moved it a bunch more this way. You can see right through the container. There's the cutout. Okay, coming down into place. Okay, we're inches away from nestling it in there. So there's a little tab hanging off the side of the container there, about 1/8 of an inch, and it's just enough to keep it from fitting down. It has to fit in between this column and this concrete. And of course it's the exact right width. And that little tab just sticks out about 1/8 of an inch, so they're having to cut it off. Okay, we got that tab cut off. Looks like it's dropping down in the hole now. It has to clear this column and clear that concrete over there. Okay, that's the first floor containers. Set the second floor containers in 2 more days. Okay, we're here today and we're ready. We're going to set our 3rd container, which will be the start of the 2nd floor. Day after tomorrow, we'll be setting the 3rd story with the 5th container. So he's going to be lifting that up, and I'm not sure if he's spinning it around or not. And then he's going to put it on top of this container over here. Okay, there it goes. Miss State Farm's here. She's on Facebook Live. Okay, there it goes up. Okay, we're trying it again. You can see they drained all this water out of it. It had a ton of water inside it, which was making it be off center so it wouldn't lift as level as they'd like it to. Okay, there she goes. She's going up. The crane has computer controls in it that'll tell it if it's trying to lift too much weight. It's a pretty good size crane, obviously. So the doors are going to face the street. I think he's setting the right container. Yes, he's setting it on the right. So he's going to turn almost completely clockwise to bring it back around the other end of the crane. Okay, so he's coming around now. He's going to set it right on top of that other container. And in a couple more days we'll be setting that 3rd story. put little stubbies on top of that other container. And that's so that the ceilings in the house will be taller than just the containers. The containers are 9'6", so we end up with about 11-foot ceilings. Okay, it's coming down on there. On top of the other container. How long are the stubbies?
It all depends because I pulled off our elevation. They're all different sizes.
What are they approximately?
16 inches.
Give or take an inch? Or less than an inch, probably.
About 16 inches.
Okay, we're fixing to set container number 4. Here it comes. We're on the site, we're ready to go. We were delayed because this container, when they tried to lift it, had too many panels cut out of it, and it was not lifting like they wanted it to, so they've had to weld in a bunch of supports, as you can see here. They're hooking up, getting ready to lift. We're going to be putting this container over here on the left side. It'll be the west side of the house. And then in about 2 hours it'll be back. We're going to be setting the 3rd story on this side over here. No, please do. We're in the public domain here. Okay, we're lifting now. You can see it coming off the trailer. They said they probably put too much bracing in it, but we want to have no regrets. Because if that thing collapses and dives off that crane into that house to the left, it's not going to be a good thing. Okay. Stay 10 feet away from them. Okay, so he's bringing it around, brought it down, getting close. He's going to sit it right on those stubbies. Those stubbies are there so we get higher ceilings. The containers are 9'6". The stubbies are about 16 inches. Every one of the stubbies is different because containers are never square, and so they have to shoot grades. So they can differ a quarter of an inch one way or the other, so up to a half an inch. And so every one of those stubbies has been cut just the right length. Okay. Just set her down on there. Making a little bumping noise as it touches everything. Down on there and squaring it up, making sure everything's right. You're going to be welding it. Getting ready to set the third story. Here comes the container now. This container is going to be on the east side of the house, and it's going to be the third story, and it's going to sit on those peg legs right up there. The west side of the house doesn't get a third container. It gets built kind of from scratch because there's not much there, because that's where the pool goes. Well, they're hooking the cables up to it now, getting ready to lift it. Okay, it's going to be a show. Let's just hope they don't drop that car. I mean that container. Okay, so we're getting ready to lift. They're making their final connections here. Well, you can see how much confidence I have that they're not going to drop the container, because you can see where I parked my car. They had me pull it up there. I think they're just trying to scare me. Okay, there it goes. They're lifting it up. They said it didn't have any water in it. We had trouble with others with water in them because the roofs had been cut out of them. Cut the roofs out of them so we can get taller ceilings in the home. The containers are only 9'6", and there's 16-inch stubbies between the floors, as you can see there, and those allow us to have about 10-foot, almost 11-foot ceilings in the home. Okay, here we go. Here goes number 3, third story. Okay, there it goes. We got Miss State Farm here. She's on Facebook Live.
Rock is gone and the container is...
So they're going to swing that thing around. The door latches that you can see there on the end face the street, just like the other ones that are over here. So they're swinging it around, and then they're going to swing the crane all the way around, I think, to get it on. Okay, so he's swinging it around. They're climbing up in there so they can get up in there and guide that one right down on top of the other two. And then, of course, they weld it in place. Okay, there they go. They swung it around there. It's going to be coming down now. Right on top of those peg legs you see there. Going to get it really close. They got riggers on the ground pulling ropes to make the container go one way or the other. And it'll nest inside those square tubes, or those stubbies as we call them. Getting close. He's bringing it on in. So he's going to set one corner, one end or one corner down in one of the stubbies. Then they'll pivot it around on that one to get the rest of them. Oh, it's getting close. Of course, close doesn't count. Always count. It only counts in hand grenades, horseshoes, atomic bombs, and farts. Doesn't count in getting shipping containers close. It's got to be right on the money. Okay, it's coming down. There it goes.
All right, it's almost there.
Sitting right, nesting right down in that column.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're swinging it around, working it so that end will go down in the last peg. They're having to work at it to get these last two in this other end in. There it goes. It's settling in. I believe they got it.